92 pounds, Wheeler YUTA. Introducing to my left, he is the
You don't have to be till every person in this room shuts the hell up.
the greatest entertainer and the hardest working man in show business, Stokely Hathaway. He represents a charter member of his dream team from Plainview, Long Island, New York. Weighing in at 215 pounds, he's better than you, and you know it. Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
Are you surprised by that decision, Paul Crockett?
It seems like a smokescreen, but you never know. When this kind of prestige is on the line, when something this huge is on the line, sometimes ego gets in the way, and maybe he thinks he has something to prove here.
Well, I mean, imagine if Stokely Hathaway representing MJF as the tournament for tomorrow winner and Jonathan Gresham as the independent wrestling champion.
The temperature just went up a little bit in this building. The tension just got a little bit thicker. There is so much on the line, and we're looking at two of the very best in independent professional wrestling today.
Seen a lot of crazy matches so far today. This is a tough spot for these two guys to be in, as even though there's bad blood, I would anticipate that we're going to be seeing a somewhat clean, well, maybe a clean affair, at least a technical affair. Obviously, Wheeler YUTA not really want to bend the rules. MJF, I'm surprised he doesn't get disqualified more often.
Forget about bend, he breaks them constantly. But yet you cannot argue with the results. He's here in this position, which at his age is very, very difficult to do given his inexperience in the business, but he has climbed the ladder faster than most have.
Both of these guys in their early 20s, still in the infancy of their careers. MJF refers to himself as a 2-year veteran, a graduate from Kurt Hawkins' Create-A Pro. Wheeler YUTA trained by Drew Gulak and Hot Sauce Tracy Williams. Tracy Williams is not ringside right now because he is preparing for his shot at the Independent Wrestling Championship. We're going to see a 3-way elimination match for the Independent Wrestling Championship as our main event here tonight. Jonathan Gresham defends against Tracy Williams and Martin Stone, two competitors that he has had run-ins with in the past couple months. And it was MJF that called Jonathan Gresham's bluff. Jonathan Gresham originally not cleared to compete this weekend, suffering a deep bone bruise in his knee. Despite doctor's orders, will still be competing later on tonight.
Beautiful arm drag takedown by Wheeler YUTA. Shades of Ricky Steamboat, a guy he told me he idolized as a young man.
You know, sometimes I feel like the bloodlust in Worcester may be insatiable. It's good to know that this crowd also appreciates good back and forth technical wrestling. And the thing that disappoints me the most about MJF is that he's showing that he can go toe-to-toe with somebody as proficient as Wheeler YUTA right now without having to take a shortcut. But you know it's coming. Even the stalling tactics right here, trying to break up Wheeler Yuta's momentum. Yuta should know better than that. And throwing the scarf in his face and ambushing him. He knew it was coming, but he didn't know how.
If MJF sees the little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, he's going to go and grab it.
Yeah, you can't give this guy an opening at all. And that's part of where, you know, the rookie tendencies of both these competitors come into play. Wheeler Yuta using some added leverage for that arm drag. Not too much elevation on that flapjack, but enough to position MJF for that sliding drop kick.
Wheeler Yuta, at such a young age, has already traveled to Japan, did a tour with Michinoku Pro, and was in the ring with names like the great Sasuke, Hakushi, Ultimo Dragon, just to name a few. So this is a guy who has learned. Forget about Drew Gulak and Tracy Williams. Those are great enough names. But then you go overseas and learn under legends like that, you're going to get real good real fast.
Referee trying to get some separation. MJF going for the eyes. Let's get that arm trapped. Oh, throwing Wheeler Yuta hard into the ropes. MJF has been utilizing that submission. It's almost like an inverted arm bar, where he gets on top of his opponent instead of underneath. And you gotta think that MJF is gonna look to continue to target the arm of Wheeler Yuta here tonight.
And as a human being, he is utter garbage, but as a professional wrestler, you cannot take any credit away from him. He knows exactly what he's doing in there at all times.
MJF coming in, putting the boost to Wheeler Yuta. Bringing him up just to bring it back down away from the ropes. Wheeler Yuta unable to get his arm out of the way. I mean, sometimes when you've had it stomped like that, you kind of lose control. Oh, he's got that key lock applied on the mat. Yuta's going to be careful he doesn't get his shoulders pinned to that from this predicament. As you see Yuta already trying to shift his body's weight with this lower body to maybe maneuver himself to a more advantageous position. Not a difficult hold to counter. Easy for me to say. I'm not the one that has, you know, excruciating pain being shot up and down my arm.
And the arm bar is one of MJF's go-to moves. He's finished a lot of people with it. You can see that he already has the bullseye right where he wants it.
You can break an arm like that. We saw Filthy Tom Lawler just this past Friday breaking both bones in his forearm by delivering a clothesline at an AEW event. Never mind having your opponent's weight being launched right on to what is a relatively unprotected part of the human anatomy.
MJF feeling himself here, letting the crowd know just exactly what he thinks of them.
Didn't need to see that. Yuta got the elbow up, though. Oh, man, a hard whip.
And that arm could be completely out of the socket after that one. Yuta has a long road to climb if he's going to get back in this one.
Well, it's a smart approach from MJF, especially if Yuta's going to be looking for a submission of his own. He's got to be able to lock those hands to really clasp it on tight. We've seen Wheeler Yuta use a submission hold, which almost sets his opponent up in a tombstone pile driver position, but then applies pressure in a manner similar to a Texas cloverleaf.
Yes.
I don't know if he's going to have the strength to apply a hold like that right now.
Given what's on the line here, I wouldn't be surprised if these two reach into their bag of tricks as far as pulling out something new and different to accomplish their goal here.
Especially if you've been in a ring with an opponent multiple times. You got to come up with something new. Both of these guys are students of the game.
Absolutely.
As Yuta is having his left arm targeted now as he's sitting on the top turnbuckle. Trying to hook his legs, might be looking for a Yoshi tonic from the second rope. Oh man, the impact on MJF. He's lucky he didn't break his neck.
And if you're gonna get back into a match, you do it with an exclamation point like that. And this Worcester crowd slowly starting to rally behind Yuta as he fights his way back up with the tournament for tomorrow just in his grasp.
been a long road for both of these competitors. First round of the tournament, November 12th, 2017, at Unprofessional in Somerville, Massachusetts. Different format from the previous year's tournament for tomorrow's, which were typically contested in one night. I mean, you've got to keep up your full schedule in the meantime. Yuta sneaking out of harm's way, trying to find his footing.
Wow.
Hurricane Rana sending MJF for an uneven landing in the ropes. Willow Yuta looking for that high angle backdrop suplex. MJF landing on his feet and looking to get out of dodge.
Wow.
He's not able to find any sort of rest or reprieve on the floor. Targeted with a suicide dive, sent right back into the ring. As Yuta looks to continue the momentum on his side. Look for that high backdrop again. Oh, into the Blue Thunder. Could not get enough coverage on the shoulder of MJF with his heel. Thought he was going to be transitioning to a more traditional, perhaps lateral press, but instead now looking for a submission.
Here's where that training with Drew Gulak and Hot Sauce Tracy Williams comes into play.
But you can see, just to quickly interrupt you, he had his right arm pressing against the legs of MJF. His left arm was virtually useless while trying to apply that submission. He never got it fully applied. MJF got right over to the ropes.
But that's where that training is going to come into play, because those guys probably taught him so many different variations of different holds, where when you know you have one body part down, you have to utilize the others to have full effectiveness on those moves.
Going right after that left arm again. You just got to be careful. He's got to protect it. Oh, man. Yuta might be out. And MJF might be looking to apply that inverted arm lock.
And now I think MJF...
What's he doing? He's wasting time, yeah.
I think
he's trying to add insult to injury.
Yes.
Oh, the wrist clutch whale hunt. That Olympic-style slam. And great impact. And as Yuta inadvertently rolls towards his opponent, MJF is looking to continue damage to that arm.
He thought he had that arm breaker, couldn't get full torque to really wrench it back and get the full effectiveness of it.
No, but a second away from disqualification as Willow Yuta was over to the ropes.
Some harsh language there from MJF.
Yeah, MJF, hey, you know, man, when you're young, you spout off of the mouth. Sometimes that can come back to haunt you. Believe me. Stepping on the left hand, Willow Yuta cannot free himself. Now Yuta, look for that submission, maybe. Oh, no, instead transitioning to a variation of an Emerald Flosion.
With authority, MJF kicks out.
Now, I will give the devil his due. MJF, it did not look like he
didn't even know what he was doing.
That was inadvertent. He was kicking out with enough force that Yuta got sent to the official. Uh-oh, trapping him up in the ring apron. And raking the back. That elbow right to the neck could have knocked him out.
This is where MJF lives. When the referee's down, it's no holds barred, and there he goes raking the eyes.
What's MJF looking for? Checking to see if Kevin Quinn is stirring still.
Oh no. We just got those done. We just got those swept up. Well, thank God the thumbtacks didn't come back into play.
I think even MJF is not that sadistic.
No.
I think knowing that there's a possibility that the tables may turn.
He's calling for the end.
Willow Yuta might be looking for the submission, maybe a tombstone instead. MJF, jumps in tombstone, flattening that garbage can.
But he might have damaged his own knee in the process. And with the referee down, he can't take advantage and get a cover.
Well, this is where your strategy can backfire. You can cheat when the official's down, but if you're spending too much time doing that instead of checking on the condition of the official, and obviously Kevin Quinn is going to be relatively fatigued. He's refereed a lot of matches this weekend, got knocked to the floor by Willow Yuta.
And if this is the way it ends, what a travesty.
Close call, Willow Yuta still showing signs of life. I think the fans have clearly picked who they're siding with in this bout.
And he still has life. He's still alive, but can he recover and do anything with this extra life?
You know, there's a big difference between surviving and winning.
In a match like this, you never know.
MJF back up first. Yuta can't even get that bum shoulder off the mat. Oh, he was playing possum!
No.
And MJF looks like he's beside himself right now.
Wheeler Yuta doesn't even know what area code he's in right now, but somehow he's able to pull off that pin, but not enough. MJF adding insult
a handful of hair.
injury.
Referee's going to get in there. Of course you can size up your opponent, punch him right in the head when you can't go anywhere.
But that might have been a mistake by MJF because I think it's waking Yuta up.
Oh.
Brutal forearm. Yuta stumbling around like a newborn calf. Can't even get his legs underneath him.
I mean, dude, the tombstone pile driver flattening the garbage can. Could you even imagine how much that must take out of you?
Both men running on pure adrenaline, pure desire to win this tournament, and quite frankly, pure hatred for each other.
Is Yuta going to tire himself out? Quite the flurry of offense. But not enough to put MJF down. MJF might have been looking for a low blow. And eye poke had it scouted. Couldn't get out of the way of that big right shot. Super kick finds the mark. MJF rebounds off the ropes. The roaring elbow of his own. Yuta's out of the way. Cuts him down with a drop kick.
Both men down, leaving it all on the mat. The question is now, who's going to want it more?
This match already going the distance. Appreciate everybody checking out the Powerbomb TV stream. Hashtag Stream Beyond. Hashtag Abundanza. As one of these two men will be crowned the winner of the tournament for tomorrow.
Are they going to answer the bell?
Yuta's up. Referee calls off the count. And both guys are back down.
Right back down. And quite frankly, who can blame them?
I mean, a tournament already marred with controversy. We'd hate to see this one end in a draw.
And you have to wonder, is the Stokely Hathaway factor blowing up in the face of MJF right now?
What, not having Stokely ringside to coach him?
Yes. Because forget about interference, just having a guy who is that intelligent.
Oh. Shoulder first. Oh, to the post and dumped right on his head. MJF tucking the arm into the trunks. And a gut-wrench powerbomb on the arm. He's still not done. What a combination out of MJF. He's got Yuta beat. 1, 2, 3. I'll be damned.
Oh no, here it is.
Oh, that inverted arm bar. The way that he's able to trap the shoulder where he crosses his legs and tries to hyperextend the elbow by pulling away at the wrist. Can Yuta make it to the ropes?
He got
able to get the foot on the rope. Referee's going to get in there right away, or else Yuta may have his arm broken. Come on.
Incredible determination by Yuta. Already a classic between these two, and it keeps going.
He's got him set up for that pile driver. MJF thrown to the floor. Horrible spill for MJF, who landed face first.
He hit the ground hard.
He was trying to brace himself on the apron, could not keep his grip on the ropes.
And now Wheeler Yuta is stirring. Can he do something with this brief advantage?
He bought himself some valuable time, that's for sure, as that left arm just hanging limp.
And there's that knee at play again. I think Yuta sees a bullseye.
Got the elbow up. Some surprising athleticism out of MJF. He might have jammed that knee. And the basement drop kick finding the mark.
He's hit his target. Can he finish it?
MJF looking for the kick inadvertently. Caught with a dragon screw. The legs are trapped.
That modified knee bar, he has it again.
Is MJF going to give it up? And this is a great submission to go to because the majority of damage to your opponent's legs is being done by your legs. Does not require as much upper body strength from Wheeler Yuta.
Oh, come on, referee. What is that?
Just dastardly behavior. And again, going for that inverted arm bar. He's going to try and pop the elbow out of place. And if that happens, referee Kevin Quinn is going to have to call the match whether or not Wheeler Yuta wants to continue.
Yuta may not have anywhere to go. He is in a horrible position.
Could you imagine being willing to cross that line that you would break another man's arm to win a match?
He's got it reversed.
Trying to roll over
there
once again.
It is. He's got it laid in. What is MJF going to do to get out of it?
Does MJF realize how close he is to the ropes? Goes for the eyes once again, this time.
And now
Yuta's trying to break the hands. Pulling him away from the ropes, rolling him to the center of the ring.
Wow, STF! STF, nowhere to go, and it's over. Yuta's taking it. One of the greatest come-from-behind victories in Beyond Wrestling history. Forget about the tournament for tomorrow in any match we've ever seen here in Beyond.
Just an insane amount of guts from Wheeler Yuta. And you're going to wonder if MJF is regretting sending Stokely Hathaway to the back.
And maybe that could cause dissension in the Dream Team, as if there already isn't enough dissension. But MJF gambled, and he lost.
What's going on here?
One of the greatest feuds we've seen in this promotion, I think. Hey, come on, that has to be a fine.
Well, we haven't seen David Starr back since he attacked Kevin Quinn last month.
You can't put your hands on an official. And I think that's about as much respect as MJF has ever shown anybody. Wheeler Yuta taking that next step towards superstardom in Beyond Wrestling.